don't want to talk about it.
But
everything is okay now. I just don't want to talk about it.
But sometimes it's good to talk things over, Jeffrey. For instance, they say that many marriages are saved
Barbara,
by people.
I love you, but you're gonna get it.
All right, welcome back to another episode of The Harbor. I'm your host, the Kino Cowboy. I'm here with Scott and Casher, like usual, because we're the boys.
Say it with more feeling, more enthused.
We're the Kino Corral, man.
Oh, that's a good one.
Today we're
You like
finally, I've been saving this, talking about fucking David Lynch, one of my, as Parker calls it, special interests. Something, I don't want to seem like a stereotype in the film community, but just something the way he films his dreamlike weird scenarios and the way he uses logic in movies, it just clicks with me. It may not click with everybody, but for some reason just his style has always spoken to me. And so now I decided it would be good to start with one a little less on the experimental side, but still very much his style, and it's Blue Velvets, which stars Kyle MacLachlan a few years after Dune in a second chance, I guess, if you will, because it's not his fault. Dune was a commercial failure. Thank you to the what's it called, the studio interference, like usual. Lots of movies.
I love that movie. I don't give a fuck.
That's fine.
I love the OG Dune.
I think it's a slog, and it took me. I had to pause it like 3 times and come back to it to get through.
That's a childhood classic for me. It's along that side of like Logan's Run and fucking other shit that
that's
we watched.
Fine. I bet I could get into it now more than now that I've seen the newest one. But when a director disowns their own film, it's kind of like, well, what's the point here, But anyway, Blue Velvet really solidifies a specific style he's going for, because this really does feel like proto Twin Peaks in a way, where it implements
lumber.
Yeah, actually, that's an interesting point. But just like that wholesome mid-century America feel
seedy underbelly
while integrating
something is wrong.
Weird, grim, and surreal shit within this kind of realm. And it also introduces kind of similar tropes and like identity, and there's an undercurrent between this and Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive I'll talk about in a little bit. Yeah, so basically Kyle MacLachlan plays Jeffrey Beaumont, who comes back to his hometown. He's in college, and he has to come help out a little bit because his dad had some sort of like stroke or seizure or something.
Stroke.
And what did you guys think of this? Because this was both of y'all's first time, right?
Yeah. I mean, I've seen other Lynch, obviously, but who I would say, I mean, from an outsider, somewhat of an outsider perspective, I see his stamp on your work, his influence rather, more than any other director. But I don't know. It's he's great, and I love Twin Peaks. I've seen Mulholland Drive and other stuff, which maybe we'll get to that someday. But I'm impressed that this is the first one on the cast. We've waited this long, almost episode 100.
I've actually only seen Eraserhead in this.
Okay.
Yeah,
so I'm
Eraserhead's great.
Super fucking familiar with him. I know his stylistically, what he does, and God, I've seen more David Lynch interviews than I'd like to admit.
I almost feel like I understood Eraserhead more than this.
I don't know. I think this was a little more accessible for me.
Yeah, for sure.
I think the plot's more accessible in this, but thematically, I think I kind of get Eraserhead more.
Well, that's the thing about this movie, is that it's got a lot of gray area, especially sexually. and
Oh yeah, there's some weird BDSM stuff.
that might be like a turnoff for a lot of people. I find it fascinating. And here before we start, this movie really needs a preface for people that don't know, but because there could be a lot of baggage portrayed through this movie, because when David Lynch was 6 years old, he was playing outside and he saw a battered and bloodied naked woman walking down the street,
I did not know that.
and it traumatized him as a kid.
Fucking
That
and
explains a lot.
Also fascinated him because it's just a weird, striking image, whether dark or not. It's really strange.
Well, you said Lynch is almost, don't take this too literally, he's almost the anti-Spielberg in a way. Because he does take these wholesome, idyllic towns, which I think he does have legitimate fond memories of. He talks
Oh,
about
absolutely.
He's a man who, without any hint of irony, calls things peachy keen.
Yeah.
Like
he's weird. He's weirdly wholesome, as twisted as he is, and it's fascinating. And David Lynch, I think, is obsessed with the concept of evil and morality.
yes.
And a lot of his stuff, as surreal as it is, can be boiled down to sort of morality tales. Very gray morality tales, but morality tales nonetheless. And this is about that. It is about the seedy underbelly of, I mean, we have corrupt policemen. We have an idyllic suburban existence falling apart.
Well, it's like knowing now that he saw that as a 6-year-old. I'm sure he lived in one of these fucking cookie cutter, Stepford wife areas, and it's completely disillusioned when you have a woman who's been, victimized walking down the street, and that shatters your fucking perception of that. Makes this movie, like, it made sense, but this movie makes 10 times more sense now. I had no idea about that.
He hammers in the imagery with the opening shot of a literal white picket fence and flowers.
Well, then it goes deeper into the fucking grass and all the bugs, and you see the disgusting.
I know, but it's interesting. So like right before that, it has the song, and it has the white picket fence and the waving firemen. But the interesting part is, by the time the film's over, it repeats this imagery with the waving firemen and stuff, and it just feels completely different. It just feels demented because the secret side of this little town.
No, it doesn't feel real.
It's the same as Twin Peaks. Like, it very much is like Proto Peaks in that way, and that's why I kind of want to might do like Twin Peaks, like 3 episodes, 1 per season, like space them out by a few months, but make Casher watch Twin Peaks, and that would be fun.
Yeah, I've started that first episode like 5 times and then forgotten about it.
That's a shame, because I think if you like this movie, you'd like Twin Peaks.
I know I'll love Twin Peaks. I just forget.
Yeah,
I'll just make.
I watch a lot of bullshit. I'm fucking weird. I watch a lot of TV, guys.
I get it. I just I feel like, now that you've watched this might help open it up a little bit.
Yeah, season 3 is polarizing, and I know it's the return.
Season 3 is one of the greatest seasons of any TV of all time.
I'm saying, well, it's a plebe filter, is what I'm saying.
Oh yeah. But
as much of a dick I am, I need to rewatch that because the amount of lore I know about Twin Peaks and what certain things mean. That's the thing. And you know about the lore. There's almost a Lynch cinematic universe.
No, there is. Definitely. This and Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive are all in the same universe. He doesn't say that outright, but I just know it is because I've paid attention. And
because I know everything.
No, I'm just saying, definitely not. Eraserhead might be as well, but Eraserhead also gets into that like space between spaces, almost kind of like Twin Peaks in season 3. But anyway, this one is very much like almost like a young Dale Cooper, except it's Jeffrey Beaumont. Like, it's some kid who thinks he's gonna be a fucking private eye or something, like a.
He's an interesting character because of how dense he is in a way.
Also, his fucking like blurred line morality.
Yes, and that's the thing, is that presenting at the beginning, he seems like just like the town, like a cookie cutter, all American college boy. But I think there's an interesting costume choice. He has a little ear piercing, and I think that is very specifically just kind of off kilters him just a little bit to be like, oh, there's more here than you thought. Just
In the
a
80s,
tiny
that
little
was
bit.
less common. They would even have, you would have like the straight ear and the gay ear, whatever
Yeah,
that means.
I remember that shit. Yeah, I remember even like into the 2000s.
Yeah.
You had like a right earring on your right ear.
I got made fun of for that.
Yeah.
Yeah.
But so
By my
I find that very
goodness.
fascinating because he does seem like that just normal college boy. And then
But he's into high school girls and also older women,
he's
representing
like, what?
opposite ends of the virgin spectrum, shall we
You
say.
can date a senior in high school if you're like a year older. It's
Yeah,
not a
you
big deal. I did. You gonna cancel me, bro? No, I'm just kidding.
Yes.
Imagine me caring about that.
Not
But,
like you're Jerry Seinfeld.
yeah, that's a little different.
I gotta help her. I gotta help her learn for her ACTs.
So yeah, it doesn't take long for Lynch to burrow into the underground and really make you immediately uncomfortable and confused, and going inside underneath this area is interesting because he does that at the beginning of Eraserhead 2 with the inside of that like cosmic whatever it is. But yeah, the funny thing about this movie is that he goes and he's just walking around bullshitting and he finds a severed ear. That's the immediate time where I would just walk away and never confront this again.
Wash my hands, go back to school, dude.
He picks it up, and I was trying to think of what he was thinking when he finds a severed ear, which is very careless on Frank's part, but that's the kind of character it is. He's erratic, to say the least. He picks up an ear, and I'm like, okay, he's getting his prints on it instead of just calling the cops or something. I guess he doesn't want it to decay or get eaten by ants. We see ants on it.
Yeah.
And we, even in the performances, have very interesting direction on the performances. The police captain, or whatever his name is, the dad, is almost unaffected by it. He's like, oh,
yep, that's an ear.
That's an ear.
It's like, okay. But also that kind of makes you think, like, immediately, I think you're kind of wondering, what is this guy? What does he know? Is he this or that? Because the whole movie, you're kind of wondering, was he actually in on this or something?
Right. And then it escalates. And that's part of the thing, part of the interesting thing, the meta thing with this is because it's Lynch, I don't know if it's supposed to be weird to be off-putting to create kind of an aesthetic and an emotional response in me to tell something about the universe that this takes place in, or if it's supposed to be a hint at the moral fiber of this police officer, or both. And that's something I bring to it as a viewer who's familiar with Lynch. I can imagine not being familiar with Lynch and seeing this movie, and how I don't know how people would react to the performances, especially. I could see a lot of people going, these, performances are horrible and hacky, without realizing that this was directed.
I'm so used to the style that it just flows so normally for me that I'm just already in it. I don't even notice almost.
It's been a while since I've watched a Lynch. I think last time I watched a Lynch film was like 2017 with you.
Yeah, I haven't watched. What? No, we watched Mulholland Drive in 2019 when I came.
2019.
Yeah.
I don't understand how you fucking remember that.
I'm a fucking.
This was right before I left.
I'm like David Lynch, dude. I'm on the spectrum, but
I'm like David Lynch, and this is my 6th coffee of the day. So
yeah,
in honor of you, Dave.
Which he has his own coffee line. He did a weird experimental commercial for it where he like plays with a Barbie doll head. It's really good. And then I parodied that in one of my YouTube videos with my girlfriend. So go check that out, people, if you want to see that. That's the most niche parody probably of all time.
I didn't even know you did that.
Yeah.
That it was maybe I've seen the video. I didn't know it was a parody.
Yeah. But yeah, and actually that film, was actually used for our friend Scotty Leonard. He made not a collage, but like it was like 61-minute short films all put into one film. And he asked me to submit one, and he used it, and it was screened in theaters in Albuquerque, so that was cool. I was like, "Hey Parker, your face was on a giant movie theater in Albuquerque." She's like, "Oh shit."
Okay, so now I know what you're talking about. That video, which is what I thought. I had no idea that was
It's pretty esoteric.
You're pretentious, Kino.
How am I pretentious? I just do things I like to do. That's a fun thing.
It is.
I'm like inspired by this, and then I'm like, okay, well, I'm gonna do something.
And then it gets in theaters.
Yeah. All right. Also, the thing about Blue Velvet is like, first time watching it, you might think it's fucking set in the 50s. It's not. It's really not until really you see the high school girls in their outfits that you're like, oh yeah, this is the 80s, mid 80s.
Yeah, contemporary.
Yeah, contemporary as fuck. Which is just like Twin Peaks. Twin Peaks is the same way.
Which is interesting because I feel like there was a lot of 50s nostalgia in the 80s. You had Grease and Back to the Future.
Yeah.
And Ronald Reagan.
Bunch of fucking boomers trying to remember the old days, and then now it's Make America Great Again.
Well, no, now we have like Space Jam New Legacy and stuff. It manifests a little bit differently.
now
You guys want to see LeBron James do the floss?
Instead of my
90s,
home ownership
yeah.
and economic prosperity, all I can remember is bullshit pop culture that was shoved down my throat. And then you become a movie podcaster.
I remember in the 2000s, early 2000s, as a kid, it was the 70s that everyone was freaking out about. Because I remember
like Brady Bunch remakes and stuff.
Yeah, and then there was a big resurgence of the lava lamps and kind of pseudo bell-bottom jeans and stuff. And I remember
marijuana.
Oh, okay, well, yeah, but yeah, I just remember it's interesting how that comes in waves. And now in the 2010s, it was major. 80s because we had Stranger Things and a bunch of shit, and now we're into the 90s and we have
even 2000s.
Yeah, Gen Z is like real obsessed with the 2000s. How do you think that makes me feel? I feel old as hell.
I find it interesting. I think what it is, you're connecting with a time that was a transitional time. It's analog and digital, but it's digital before social media and web 2.0 or 3.0, whatever the hell you call it. So that it's a bridge that they can connect to with an analog pass, which we remember, but they don't.
Yes.
Plus, we're in a world where everything is like hyper minimalist, and like the 2000s were the like very last fragments of having the Taco Bell with crazy colors and
maximalism. Yeah, and it's
like,
so
IMAX. The colorful Max, and also just the a lot of the hardware was proprietary. Like now we have a phone that kind of does everything, but back then you still had devices that did, if you needed to record something, you had a voice recorder or whatever. But anyway, I think Lynch's opinion of the 50s, getting back to the film, which he evokes in this, he would definitely talk about the moral underbelly. There was just as much domestic abuse, police corruption.
Well, yeah, no, absolutely.
COINTELPRO, go watch Judas and the Black Messiah. I'm just listing things.
No, you drop
fucking Banana Republics.
Dude, it's like, again, fucking Adrian bringing up that whole Lynch seeing that woman. That's like, it shatters your reality of this perfect world. And this, it's like he thinks even finding the ear is not even like the catalyst to shatter the illusion. It's when he finally meets the lounge singer and sneaks in there as a pest control, which it's funny that there's so many bug comparisons in this movie. Like, he's got pest control, and
I didn't even put that together. I feel what's fucked. The world is, I think, weirdly a better place for David Lynch, having seen that as a child, as traumatizing as it was.
Yeah,
we wouldn't have this movie.
That's terrible. I don't represent.
We wouldn't have Twin Peaks.
The Harbor doesn't represent Scott Keith's views on everything. But
No, it's like, well, the illusion's not really shattered for him until he's caught. Like
He's playing detective.
detective, yeah. No, he's like it's all like a game,
and it
and then
becomes
he's
so
brought,
real.
and then when she starts sucking the wiener, it's the
Yeah.
catalyst he
But
was
before that,
expecting.
though, he strikes up a friendship with the
Laura Dern.
detective's daughter, Laura Dern,
Fuck.
and that's kind of an important aspect because she is in high school. She may be like close to his age, but she is in high school, and how quickly he starts to convince her to join him on these expeditions is it's kind of shows there's more to him that might not be so good because I know he thinks at first it's all like a thrill, but it becomes very dangerous very quickly. And even when it does become dangerous, he's still trying to ask her to do this or that. Or he does at one point say, just drive off. And she says, no, I'll honk for you. Because obviously she tries to deny it, but she does have a bit of a thrill in it too.
He has a naivete and almost a sort of death instinct.
Yeah.
You want to say I think it's funny that the horn honking didn't work because the man couldn't hold in his piss from a Heineken.
Yeah.
I
Stupid
thought
fuck.
that was so funny.
When he
Because
goes,
he has to indulge in his base instincts
yeah.
of touching his wiener, and I'm not even joking.
No, I know.
Eating and drinking. We even see phallic imagery when the dad falls down and he's spraying the hose because he's having a seizure or whatever. And the dog, yeah, exactly, is biting on it, and it's like he's holding it at crotch level, and it's almost like
relax,
look how phallic and animalistic this image is in suburbia,
Yes,
it's
absolutely.
as silly as it sounds when you say it like that.
No, I believe that 100%. That's
It's very
interesting.
intentional.
And when Jeffrey goes up to the apartment, the lights around the place are flickering, and you might someone who's not into Lynch might just think, oh, that's just a grimy set design, but it is not. He uses electricity in his movies, and Twin Peaks especially, and Mulholland Drive, to convey an otherworldly sort of energy currents between realms and a sense of darkness. And you get lore behind that in Twin Peaks season 3 and where the currents really come from. But it's just really once you see those lights flickering as he goes in, that's when you know he has entered some sort of realm where he is not going to be leaving anytime soon, and a sense of
and he enters darkness. It's less physical than say the whatever room in Twin Peaks.
Yes.
But it's more psychological. But yeah, you have this almost poltergeist spirit world effect going on.
And so yeah, that's a major part of that connection to his other work. And when he does get up there, and I think it's interesting that he's forced when he goes to hide into the closet, and now he's, because of his mistake, is forced to be a voyeur and witness things that he did not consent to, which is definitely a theme of the movie. And I don't know, it's just interesting. And the woman, Isabella Rossellini, what's her name? Dorothy.
Yeah.
That's when she sings at that bar, she's in front of a red curtain and there's the lighting. That's another imagery that is appearing throughout his films. It appears once again in Twin Peaks and once again in Mulholland Drive. I don't know the significance between that. Well, other than that, the curtains are in Twin Peaks, they appear as a entrance usually to barriers between spiritual and physical realms, especially when the giant appears in Twin Peaks to warn Dale Cooper, and another time when he's entering the Black Lodge So I don't know if there's significance there, if what he was thinking about before this in relation to this movie, but
Well,
there's
it's definitely a gateway. There's another narrative term I'm trying to think of, but can't think of it. I'm still trying to think of the significance of the title Blue Velvet, which I didn't know was a song when I started watching this movie.
What? Okay.
I'm stupid, man. I'm so
The two songs that they primarily use in this movie, though, are like Blue Velvet has its own themes, but specifically In My Dreams is just like this creepy, almost, it's a voyeuristic song.
well, and also
Yes.
velvet is typically red, which is an amorous color. This is an inversion of that, representing an entrance into a dark sexual world and a dark coming of age for this young man, an inverted coming of age.
And speaking of that song, the song that plays where he's at that party with Laura Dern and they're dancing and stuff, that is Julie Cruz, which she has also used, like I said, Twin Peaks and Mulholland Drive. But this was their first collaboration together, and with Angelo Badalamenti, who is the composer, and Julie Cruz pops up at very important parts of Twin Peaks, and so that's just another interesting connection. But yeah, the lyrics for that song, when Lynch had very specific lyrics that he wanted to send, so he sent them over to Angelo Badalamenti, and Angelo was like reading them, and he's like, these do not read like lyrics, man. This reads like a weird fucked up poem. And so he was trying to figure out how to make that into music, and so Julie Cruz really took it and made it her own, and that's why it has like almost this off-putting angelic weird nature to it, but it fits so well. I don't know, the guy's really specific.
Very, which is the mark of a great, of an auteur. Auteur theory is somewhat bunk, but I think it applies in Lynch's, especially if you see that I don't know, Twin Peaks season 3 clip of him yelling at somebody on his set.
Who the fuck cares how long a fucking scene is? Yeah. Also, yeah, like fuck them. He's fucking doing what he wants. And I shouldn't jump into this, but it really does piss me off that some of the crew on his sets just don't get it or get him. And it's like, let him do his thing.
I mean,
they're
craftsmen. He's an artist.
Showtime does not deserve him, because when he was making Twin Peaks season 3, there's that fireman, the giant, his set in that weird realm. Yeah. Where I'm not gonna spoil too much, but and that's one of the most fascinating things in his entire filmography, and he only got to film in that set for like 2 days, and then Showtime was like, oh, moving on, let's break it down, destroy it. And it's like he wanted to like play around and like really just fuck with some shit, and Showtime was like, no, we got this schedule and this and that.
That's modern filmmaking, and
I know, but like
modern American filmmaking, because I know stuff like, I heard that Buster Keaton and their shoots, they would schedule like 2 hours a day to play around. Like, that would be worked into the schedule, which is the way, if you're gonna do it, is probably the way to do it. And I know Jackie Chan complains about Western capitalism. No, he complains about not the CCP. He complains.
He definitely doesn't complain about that.
He complains about the shoots in America and how it's so quick. They don't take time because he's an ultra perfectionist. He'll do 100 takes literally. He doesn't. Which is why his Hong Kong movies are so immaculate. And I like Rush Hour and stuff, but it's clearly a step below the just perfection in the blocking and staging and everything. It was Hong Kong films,
but China doesn't have Chris Tucker, so
yeah, that's the thing.
Yeah, Chris Tucker's
China actually hates black people, so he wouldn't be. Rush Hour probably didn't do great over there.
We should get into Frank.
Okay, well, well, I want to say it's insane to me that this fucking prick of a kid is breaking into someone's apartment all on a hunch that his high school girlfriend told him, basically.
And he doesn't know, like, or no, he does know that this evidence is not permissible in court. And that's a problem I have with a lot of movies, and you suspend disbelief. And a lot of movies and TV shows, they get evidence illegally. I'm like, that wouldn't be admissible in court. Like, you can't do that, literally.
Yeah, but he does say that. He's like this.
He does. That's what I'm saying. Then I'm like, then why are you going through all this if you know that?
He's got some fucking weird itch.
The thrill of the kill.
It's the pool. He even says something to the effect of, I'll look at the exact quote, but he says he's seeing something that was always hidden, you know.
Yeah.
He's pulled into this darkness. It's almost like, I don't know, a kid on the internet in the aughts finding snuff videos and you just have to watch them or
he's
something.
Pulled in, but like I said with the electricity, it's very much, there's a weird spiritual undercurrent.
No, for sure. You can tell, dude, this kid had to like torture squirrels or something at some point.
Oh man. But
this kid's a panty sniffer.
Yeah, so he's forced to be a voyeur in the closet, and he watches her take off her clothes, and you know, he kind of has to, because he wants to be aware of what's going on and if he can get out. And there's a lot of that in the movie where that's a through line through the movie, is him being in that closet having to witness things against his will. And I wonder if that circles back to Lynch having to see that woman in the street, you know, against his will. And that's just a really interesting through line, and set pieces him in that closet.
No, he in a way, I've looking at interpretations online very vaguely. I don't want to, you know, have somebody explain the movie, their interpretation to me. But there is an Oedipal thing going on. He has this kind of surrogate family where he's watching domestic abuse. He's watching this woman, this older motherly milfy figure, and then, you know, fighting off the father, making love to her in a very violent way. It's all there. And I don't know enough about Freud, nor do I really care enough to get into that, but it's there.
Yeah, and she's like, and then he's violated now because she's holding a knife up to him, turning it around on him, even though that's not what he meant. And then it turns into this weird sadomasochistic thing, and
because she starts what I thought would be sexually assaulting him, touching him.
Yeah.
And she said, "Do you like this?" And he says, "Yes." And I'm like, oh, this is getting
weird. That's when it gets weird.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Super gray area sexual.
Kyle MacLachlan.
Yeah. It's super gray area sexually. And it is fucked up that this this woman wants to fuck a home invasion, like a home invader and shit. Like, what the fuck?
People, it's a weird thing. So one of the explanations I've read about BDSM and stuff is it's basically your brain misattributing stimulus. Basically, with fear and that sort of excitement, you're getting into a hyper aroused state. And it's almost like, to put it in very oversimplified terms, because I'm not a neurologist, that electricity in your brain almost jumps to the wrong part, because the excitement part and like the fear part of your brain and the sexual part of your brain are like half an inch from each other, not even. And that's part of it. So that's why there's this connection between fear and death and birth and sexuality for some reason. That's the neurological explanation. I'm sure there's a more poetic way to explain it. But
so now he's in deep with this quick turn of events. And but then after this is when the film takes a turn and goes all in.
One of my favorite fucking villains of all time now.
This is when Frank Booth comes into the fray.
I fucking love
puffing narcotic gas, acting like a maniac. And here's
the thing. I watched this. I was bummed out a couple nights ago, so I didn't watch this till last night. And I texted you guys like, should I watch this film in a bummed mood? And you were like, I don't know, it's pretty dark and stuff. I wish I had. I think it would have cheered me right up in a weird way, largely
Yeah.
because of Dennis Hopper.
Yeah.
Because I'm fucked enough to see the humor and the intentionality in the hackery.
Yes. And that's the most baller part of this movie is how Dennis Hopper just goes all in.
I can imagine Lynch behind the camera. I could see it. Him going, more, Dennis, more. That was good, but I need more.
I don't know if he had to. I think Dennis Hopper got it right away. I think I've heard people talk about
He
that.
nails it.
About he just got it.
Dude,
And, I mean, imagine you're watching this in a film festival and all of a sudden this guy's going, "Baby wants to fuck," you know, just like
his first line is this movie. Shut up, it's daddy, you shithead. Where's my bourbon?
Which is really the most extreme version of a shitty husband, abusive husband. But so obviously there's commentary there, but it's a really fucking horrible situation because he figures out from this interaction that this Frank Booth guy has Dorothy's child and husband off somewhere and probably cut off this dude's ear, and now she's trapped in this weird scenario. But you can't help but laugh at
his mannerisms are just so fucking obscene and like crazy that it's like terrifying but also funny as fuck.
Yeah.
Also,
awesome.
I did a little research because I was really curious of what he was huffing. And I was reading through it, and apparently David Lynch wanted it to be helium at first. So for one, imagine all of Frank Booth's lines like high pitched and just fucking insane. Like,
fucking Roger Rabbit, dude.
But what's funny, this is the funniest thing
that would
that
be
I
insane.
read.
It'd be too much.
It's so David Lynch was like, let's do helium, and then Dennis Hopper, who avid drug user, was just like, that's not what helium would do. And he goes, Lynch quoted as saying, "I'm thankful to Dennis because up until last minute it was going to be helium to make the difference between daddy and baby that much more. But I think he wanted it to be funny, so helium out the window." And then the first rehearsal, Dennis said, "David, I know what's in these different canisters. I can name what's in here." And so it's actually what he said is, let me find it. It's called amyl nitrate. It's an angina medication used recreationally as an inhalant in the disco scene and produces psychoactive responses.
How bizarre.
That's how deep in the drug culture Dennis fucking Hopper.
Dennis Hopper knew.
Fucking cool, dude.
Going to discos, huffing. You just have a canister at a disco, like,
dude. I thought that was insane because it's like I couldn't imagine what would be in that. I was like, obviously it's not helium. And the only other time I've ever seen in a movie where someone's huffing it like that is in fucking Little Shop of Horrors, and it's the dentist with nitrous, which is awesome. But I thought that was a fun little tidbit because it kind of changed the whole. If they would have had daddy in one voice and baby in the high-pitched helium, don't know if I could have finished the movie. That would have fucked me up.
That would have been next level insane. Maybe too much.
It would have been too much.
But especially because like Jeffrey's having to watch her get assaulted, beaten the fuck out of, and treated like shit. And
imagine he sounds like Mickey Mouse the whole time.
And then right after that, he like comforts her and shit. But then when it takes a little turn, she's like, when he come and he's like going in on it, she like wants to be hit by him and stuff. And then
you think that's just a response to Frank, or do you think
I don't know.
I think it's part of it could be, if we're going to psychoanalyze the characters, it's a way of controlling your abuse. It's actually not uncommon for rape survivors to have rape fantasies or engage in rape play. I've read this.
Yeah.
And it's so they can take that traumatic event and box it in and control it and have a sense of control over the pain that they felt. At least that's the explanation.
That makes sense.
Definitely makes sense. It's just like imagine how confusing this is for an 18 or 19-year-old guy who's just now getting into this kind of adult space of sexuality. And this is what
I
he's
remember.
presented with first. Like, is
Yeah, because I feel like he has some sexual experience, but not this much.
yeah, not like this.
This
And
guy's like hand job at the baseball game under the bleachers type of guy.
yeah.
No, I've been thrust into that when I was younger too, and it's a weird experience learning that kind of stuff so young.
Did you say baby wants to fuck?
No.
Were you made to do that?
No, but I was burned with cigarettes and things like that.
That's too much for me.
Yeah,
Anyway,
this is
we
a
don't have
little
to get into our
more.
own sexual preferences.
This is a little more complex, I think.
Yeah,
more
well,
like-
I don't think I asked for it, but
I know, but like he gets confused, and even later in the movie, he has a scene where he like breaks down crying over
which is
stuff 'cause
super fucking sad.
he's just so confused because I mean it's really strange, and I don't know because he can't help but go back for more though, not just for sex but just like the mystery and stuff. And he's attracted to the danger, and I don't know.
That's where the fucking blurred line comes from. Like
Yeah.
he's
He
upstanding.
still
He's got
portrays
his
him
own.
as like childlike in a lot of ways.
But he has his own seedy underbelly.
Yeah. Because he's
But-
like distraught. He's talking to Laura Dern's character. He's just like he's like, why are there people like Frank Booth in this world? And that speaks to his naivety and like I don't know.
It's kind of
but
weird.
also Lynch's obsession with evil. It's Lynch asking himself that.
You can kind of look
True.
at Jeffrey as like a personification of the town he's in. Like
Yeah,
on
fair
the
enough,
outside,
yeah.
very like cookie cutter, but on the inside, he's got these dark, complex feelings that are exasperated by the surroundings. Because like where the lounge singer lives, she's not in that cookie cutter part of town. She's in a dingy, actually kind of a badass apartment. I like it. And then you go to Ben's house and it's even creepier.
Yeah.
God damn it, I've been in houses that had the same vibe as Ben before.
Ugh.
And it was fucking weird, just too weird for me, and I can get pretty weird.
Yeah.
Wait, I feel very stupid. When did they go to Ben's house?
They go on a car ride right after Frank.
Yeah,
meets
they fucking
David.
catch him.
Oh, and it's kind of like a brothel or whatever.
It's
More
I think it's
just
just
like
a drug den. I
Yeah,
think
it's just like a
for people
drug
who do
den.
drugs.
That's
Yes,
where they
okay.
keep people and they
Yes.
just do business.
Just
and
really
shit.
weird, strung out motherfuckers. Like they're right after that they leave, and like it gets violent between Frank and Jeffrey. Jeffrey
Yeah.
punches him in the fucking
Yeah, he gets him a
face.
punch. But
And the girl's
it's-
just like dancing on the top of the fucking like car, and it's in the
Yeah.
and
But
And,
part
like,
of they make it almost intentionally. It's you have like middle-aged, out-of-shape women in there instead of your typical, like stripper type characters. And
Yeah.
that's just another almost piece of set design.
But
that
even
makes
like
it-
before that, when they're in the car and all of the cronies are in there, it's very much like 60s gang, like the dudes from fucking American Graffiti or
I
something.
thought that too.
It's just, but like a weird, strange,
Pharaohs.
deranged take on it. Yeah. And like Jack Nance, star of Eraserhead, he's one of these cronies, but if you've seen Twin Peaks, it's impossible to take him seriously
Yeah.
as a crony because he's the most wholesome fucking character in the entire show of Twin Peaks. This nice fucking fisherman guy. And so it's bizarre because he just looks exactly like Pete in this movie, because even though this movie's only like 11 or 12 years after they filmed Eraserhead, he looks like 25, 30 years older, and it's really
Yeah.
bizarre.
I feel like I must have been heavy smoke, like 2-pack-a-day smoker.
He's only like 42 in this movie and only like 45 in Twin Peaks. I don't understand. He died young too. Jack Nance died at like 55 or something.
Dude, this was the 80s. It was full whole fat cream cheese bagels and cigarettes for breakfast, baby.
Yeah.
Sounds like my kind of guy.
when they're at Ben's place, I like Ben a lot. He, he's just
Interesting character.
real
I love that
interesting. Yeah.
actor. I love
Yeah,
that
weird
actor.
makeup. It reminded me of Toby Maguire in Babylon, his character.
Yeah, fair.
His skin's all
Yeah.
fucked up from the drugs, so he wears heavy makeup all the time.
Interesting.
Dude, yeah,
Um,
the actor is fucking dope. Dean Stockwell. You'll recognize him a lot from like his later roles because he's really iconic. He passed away last year or the year before. But
He's in Paris,
I like,
Texas.
yeah, I was looking up like the stuff that he'd been in, and I was like, and I saw the picture of him recently, and I was like, holy shit, okay, I know this guy is in everything. And then seeing him in this role was like, what a fucking wild role for this man.
yeah. Speaking of people passed away, Angelo Badalamenti died like a month or two ago. So rest in peace. Great composer, iconic man. But yeah, I love one of my favorite scenes in the movie is when Ben just lip syncs that song, and
The dreams.
it's like a recurring motif. And but there's like everyone kind of swaying around, and there's that chick standing on top of the couch, like swaying and shit. And that reminds me exactly of a time after Rain's prom party in senior year. We were me and our high school friend Aaron and Matt were all fucked up. Shouldn't have been driving, but I wasn't the one driving. And I remember we were trying to look for the next party. It was like 4 a.m. or whatever. And Aaron shouldn't have been driving because we were going back from Greenbrier down into Conway, and he was watching the lights come past us from on the street lights. He's like, I feel like I'm in Lightspeed in the Death Star or on the Millennium Falcon, dude. I was like, fuck. And anyway, yeah, crazy prom party. But we were just driving around. We're like, what do we do? Where's the next party? Because we're fucking insane 18-year-olds. Drunk and stoned.
And then you ended up dressing up like exterminators and going
No,
into
we pulled up. We're like, let's go to Hendrix. I bet there's a party happening there. So we pulled up to Hendrix, which is a private school for pretentious art students.
Private university.
Yeah. It's a college. And we pulled up to those apartments right next to the place kind of near well, I don't have to tell details, and sure enough there was a party going on, so we just get out and we just walk into the place and get into the party. And the vibes of this party, because it was so foreign to us because it was like an actual college party, and they were doing, like coke, and there was a girl on LSD, and she was standing on top of the couch exactly like in this movie, and like she was just like staring at the ceiling while swaying. And that's when I was like, I'm out of my element. And there was a lot of, it was like drag queen cross-dressing night or whatever.
I've been to one of those fucking parties.
So there was a lot of drag queens there, and it was all
not anymore.
I'm just saying there was
Thanks, Sarah Huckabee Sanders.
Really crazy experience for me, because I was used to like high school level things, and going into this was like almost culture shock, and it felt surreal. So it's not like the same vibes as this scene in the movie, but it definitely reminded me of like just being in something so far different from what you're used to. So I imagine Jeffrey, against his will, having to witness this too must be bizarre.
There's levels of adult, and when you're younger, you're eager to enter the adult world, but sometimes you get pulled in deeper than you're ready for.
Yeah.
And that's one thing this movie is about, and that's what you're talking about. Also, that party sounds, I don't know.
Sounds fucking rad. What are you talking about?
I would have been into it more, when I was like 18 or 19.
I've had similar situations in like my real early 20s, like popping into a party and everybody's fucked up on nitrous or something, and no one's talking, and there's weird music playing,
weird vibes,
and you're sober, and you're like, well, I'm gonna leave.
Yeah, I've been to a lot of parties sober, and yeah, it's a weird place to be.
Dude,
I usually end up cleaning.
One of the weirdest fucking situations is like you're fucked up at a music festival, and you find that the only campsite that's up still playing music is just so everybody's sitting around just a big old tank, and you go up there, no one has the same vibe as you because you're up and ready to party, and they're just like wonked out.
But
It's weird, man. It's sinister.
And that's the thing about Ben's character. For a moment, you think he's going to be nicer or cooler than Frank Booth and his cronies, but then he just punches Jeffrey in the stomach.
He was trying to make sure his face didn't hurt anymore.
So I like that element to it. Like, sorry, dude, there's no one around here that's going to be.
nobody's gonna help you,
Yeah.
and you can't trust anybody's appearances.
And then also we get the iconic "I'll fuck anything that moves" line.
Is that where that comes from with Jay?
Yeah, that's where Jay from Clerks quotes that, possibly more famously, because
Yeah,
a lot more.
I
People
think more
see
people have
Clerks
seen Clerks than this.
than Blue Velvet. So that's a fun little thing, though.
Fucking Jay, man. He's fucking Kino. Man's patrician.
Jay is
Yeah.
Kino.
I can see that Blue Velvet as like a movie kids in the 90s were like watching on VHS, like, yo, watch this shit, dude.
Yeah,
In
this
their
is shocking.
dorms.
And I'm not gonna get any of the subtext. I'm just gonna get high and laugh at.
Think it's
Dennis
cool,
Hopper.
man.
Think it's cool. Yeah.
Yeah. And there's a lot of themes of unconsensual acts, and not just sexually, but just in general. And also, yeah, like we said, the gray area within these acts. So there's a lot of trauma from different angles of this movie.
I want to talk a little more about Laura Dern's character.
Okay.
And her relationship to others. Because I feel like we haven't talked about her a lot.
We don't talk about women on this cast. This is a no He-Man Woman Haters Club, friend.
Then we can't talk about you then. Oh. So she clearly represents this kind of virginal ideal.
Yeah.
And he's on the cusp of adulthood, and he's torn between these two ideals of relationship and sexuality. And he even rushes into his relationship with her. They exchange quick "I love yous" at the party when they've known each other a week, maybe.
Yeah.
And I understand, nothing bonds you to a woman like shared trauma, but it's an insane thing.
You'll never say "I love you" so fast like that. You don't think so?
In a week, no.
But that just hammers in still how childish.
It hammers in how childish they are. And it's interesting. I think there's a lot of movies that would play that straight, like in a romance, Romeo and Juliet sort of situation.
Yeah.
It would be seen as romantic, where, again, Lynch is subverting that sort of high school love suburban ideal and showing it to be naive and twisted in a way.
Yeah.
Because who knows? If Jeffrey has one thing on his mind.
God. What's on his mind?
Heineken.
Yeah. Yeah, dude. Frank talking about Pabst Blue Ribbon cracks me out, dude.
Pabst Blue Ribbon yells it.
Man,
Pabst Blue
they had to
Ribbon.
get approved for these. What did they got approved? The brands have to be approved to get in this movie. And what did they think when they saw this like final cut? Were they like, oh no, we shouldn't have?
I don't know. You can talk about something without getting it approved. You can talk about
Yeah, I don't know what the
Rib
laws are.
on.
But also, like, for anyone at home that doesn't drink beer, Pabst Blue Ribbon is like famously mid beer that you buy for like $1 a can when you're in college and get drunk.
Yeah, it's considered a college hipster beer. I'll still drink it because I'm a cheap bastard. I can afford
I
better
like
beer.
PBR.
But
PBR is a good beer. I don't know what the fuck you're talking
Whatever,
about.
dude. In college, we were all on the Miller High Life train
I
Champagne
like a good Miller
beers.
High.
because we were like, oh, it's the champion of beers. Can't get better than that.
Champagne of beers, my guy.
Yeah, champagne of beers. That's right.
I'll be honest with you guys.
Only if it comes from the Champagne region of France.
I like my craft beers, but your boy likes Keystone Light a whole lot.
Okay, that's no, I can't get behind that.
That's like my go-to if I'm partying for the weekend.
That's
Pick
the
up
most
a 30
white
rack.
trash thing.
I'll go get a 30 rack of Keystone Light. And the best part about getting cheap beer like that is you put it in the fridge at a party, no one's touching it.
Is that why you like it?
Oh yeah.
Nobody's gonna
Keystone
steal
Light.
your
I think that was the
shit.
first beer I ever tried.
Keystone?
Yeah, Newt Bain handed me a beer at at Dimitri's 11th grade prom party, and that was the first beer I had. And I took 2 sips and was like, "Fuck this!" And I put it down, didn't touch it again, and it stuck to rum for the rest of the night.
Rum's better.
Which is probably where I went wrong, but we can talk about prom stories another time.
Yeah,
But,
especially because I don't have any because I didn't go because I'm cool. I stayed home and played on Omegle.
Homecoming senior year, I didn't go to homecoming because Aaron King got the recently released Star Wars Blu-ray box set, which I've never seen in HD. So we watched Empire Strikes Back instead. So
hell yeah, dude.
Megan and I, shout out Megan Hamley. We went to prom for 10 minutes. I saw that there were no black people, and I left because I was like, "This is not going to be nearly as fun."
Okay. So anyway, Blue Velvet.
Yeah. So
he gives a disease to Laura Dern. She says he put a disease in me at some point, doesn't she?
No, that's Dorothy.
Oh, that's Dorothy.
Dorothy's saying this, like, you put your disease in me, and I don't know really what she means by that. Maybe like
is it moral? Is it physical?
Yeah, maybe it's moral or something like that. But you can see how that would sound when she shows up mangled nude in front of Laura Dern's house. And
yeah,
then,
Jeffrey's he's a tool. What is the significance behind the lipstick and the gender bending in when Dennis Hopper is kissing and then stabbing and not killing off? I guess he doesn't want to deal with disposing the body and such and the heat. Jeffrey. Is it just more depraved sexuality just for its own sake? I think trying to say anything about gender or gender roles.
I think Frank's got some issues with family situations.
No,
he has his shut the fuck up. He has his 2 personalities, the daddy and baby. But once he loses Dorothy, like, does he overcompensate and make up like a motherly figure that they can pine over? I think they're like the entirety of the Oedipus like story could be just Frank's character.
You think he represents all of the psychological roles of the Oedipal complex, the Trinity fighting within one person?
Yeah,
that's an interesting take.
Yeah, that's where I was like, because the lipstick stuff, it doesn't start happening until fucking Jeffrey's found out his woman's been fucked by a young stud.
Yeah, that is interesting.
And so now it's like he has to replace that figure within his head. And the first time we see him put the lipstick on, isn't it? Whenever he's like beating the shit out of him, in the fucking parking lot.
That's the only time I remember him putting.
Yeah.
So it's like from there, I don't know. I there's got to be something there with that. I don't know.
He's reasserting his own power over the mother figure by becoming the mother figure.
Yeah, that's good.
And then attacking him.
I might be fucking way off, but that's
it's all up to the viewers.
Yeah, we're all spitballing here. Here's the thing: Lynch doesn't really want clean cut interpretations of his work.
No.
He somewhat rejects it. He's kind of like Kubrick in the regard of like, if I wanted to say it in words, I would have said it in words. I said it in the language of cinema.
Exactly.
Lynch talks about this
he
interview.
Full on rejects it and says, like, that's why I made it into a movie, because I wanted to express this. That's it. People ask him all the time what this or this means. He says that would defeat the purpose of leave the conversation up to the viewers, not him.
Right.
There's the famous quote where he says, "Believe it or not, Eraserhead is my most spiritual film." Elaborate on that. No. And then that's it.
It is so great, though. I love that.
What a cool fucking guy.
Respect the fuck out of that. And to a degree, I believe in that. No, I would like to make a commentary track for some of my movies, but there's some stuff I would explain, some stuff I wouldn't explain. But I'm not as like hardcore as him. But definitely certain specific imagery you don't have to explain, and that's the thing. Is that
sometimes it is supposed to be affective, and that's it. And by manipulating the audience's emotional state, you draw them closer to the emotions and therefore to the ideas and themes that you want to explore.
Sure.
And of course, we're going full death of the author. You can bring whatever you want to it.
But also, like, when I'm watching movies, and as a filmmaker, I know this to be true, there's specific imagery in movies that you can tell has been in this director's head for a very long time, and they've been itching to get it out for a very long time. I'm the same way. And I love when those scenes come along because I can just sense it immediately. And one of those images really was probably when Jeffrey, towards the climax, he goes back into the apartment and there's the yellow man whose head's been shot and he's swaying around. And then the Dorothy's husband who is dead and his mouth is open, tied up, and with the TV smashed. And that's a very specific image that there's no way that he hasn't been wanting to put that on screen for a long time.
It is dreamlike. It is zombie-like. Very Twin Peaksy.
Yeah, and especially even the TV being smashed. Fire Walk with Me opens with a TV being smashed, which is also a very on-the-nose reference to, like, fuck the ABC. Well, this is a movie, bitch. I can do what I want. But also, there's some sort of recurring thing there.
Fuck season 2 filler.
Dude, the dreamlike state is definitely accurate, but it's like a night. Everything that I see like that he does is so nightmarish and it's so similar to like a bad trip.
Yeah,
like it's
for
so
sure.
fucking like specifically like bad trips that I've had, like where scenes like this don't feel like you feel
Yes.
like you're in a different realm.
It gives you that same feeling. And
It's
when
so
we
weird.
cover Mulholland Drive later this year, you will see that is exactly like a bad mushroom trip in all the best ways. It feels exactly like that. Like,
Well, dude, there are times where like I'll finish like back in the day, I'd have these really intense psychedelic experiences, and I understand what you're saying of like wanting to get that image out and fucking present it in film, because I've got a black book of shit that I have encountered on these fucking trips and that I fucking want to put to like a medium like that. And so I bet you're right with that for sure.
but also, like, Lynch is heavily influenced by dreams and dream states, and so am I. A lot of my ideas have come from weird fucking fever dreams that I've had, and a lot of things of stories I haven't been able to tell because I don't have the budget to, but I've had written down for years, have been
If you'd like to
from
sponsor Adrian's
really
shit.
important dreams. And even like even not just my dreams, Cody's dreams. That's where the Genie Man comes from in our movie Moon Man. Everything about that is straight. We took exactly what he wrote down after he woke up and we put it onto fucking screen. So if you watch that segment of my film Moon Man, you will see exactly what's going on in Cody Long's head. But yeah, it's just the way he captures surreal elements, man. It speaks to me. My brain picks up things on that. I get dream logic to a T. I have dreams that have the exact same progression as a lot of, especially Mulholland Drive. And I don't know why my dreams are always so fucking vivid. It's almost, I don't understand. It seems to be more than anyone else because I remember almost like 90% of my dreams I remember. It kind of takes a toll on me.
I hardly ever remember dreams, which is unfortunate. I like my dreams. They're wacky.
I don't remember my dreams, but I keep bringing it back to fucking psychedelics because that's what if those feel like fucking dreams, like it feels like a state. It's you're in, but you're awake.
Just last night, my dream was like meeting up with a friend I went to high school with Braden, who was in prison for 4.5 years. And then, which wouldn't make sense for the guy if you know him.
It's very funny if you know Braden.
And then right after that was a theme park wanting me to design the train for their theme park, but it couldn't be similar to Disneyland's train, and I had to like figure it out.
The train is phallic. The phallus is the art of creation,
but it's just like,
and you're trying to differentiate yourself from the mega corporations with your own authorship.
Autisship?
Oscars shit.
That's what I like about this movie too, is like at the end of the day, it's not about solving the mystery. It's just about the strange visceral journey. And
Yeah, the mystery is just this guy is a bad dude.
because he takes pictures of the yellow man meeting with especially the dressed guy or whatever, who actually turns out to be Frank Booth, which is almost like comical because, like, yeah.
As soon as I saw that photo, I'm like, that's just a dude in a wig and mustache.
Yeah, it's almost like a cartoon in that way.
It's like a Bugs Bunny costume.
Most terrifying cartoon imaginable. Jesus.
Well, yeah, you get that the man in yellow, the yellow man as they call it, is just like, he just feels like another Twin Peaks character. But and I will say, when I do like that Jeffrey, when he goes in there and sees this, how everything's staged, not staged, but especially with the guy's brain like peeking out and shit, it's kind of fucked. And he's just like, you know what? I'm gonna leave. I'm gonna let people discover this as it is. I'm done interfering. And you're like, oh, good. Finally, his character's like, I'm gonna just leave this shit alone. And then he gets
in too deep.
Yeah, in too deep. And Frank Booth comes in to kill him.
You cannot regain your innocence.
Yeah, it's too far gone. Exactly. Yes. Too far gone. And it pushes him to the point where he actually fucking shoots Frank Booth dead, and fucking gore goes everywhere. And you go, and like, that's it. Like, that's where this journey took him, is to that insane fucking, like.
But he gets to date a high schooler in the end.
That's the thing, is that
worth it.
Even at the end, that motif of, or that line through the film is him in that fucking closet watching Frank Booth come in and stuff. He's stuck and he has to just watch, witness, and to drive my point home, as soon as Frank Booth is killed, there's like a shot of light retracting, which goes into the electricity cosmic significance that I was talking about
his
earlier.
Spirit potentially, his evil spirit being vanquished and potentially exiting his body, and that energy exiting into the whatever world.
And here's a fun fact, is that David Lynch requested that the brain of Frank Booth be a real human brain. So one of the prop guys knew a guy he had to connect in Germany, and this guy in Germany sent him over a real human brain for the film. So yeah.
What?
Yeah. That's legit.
That's fucking
I don't know
dope.
why he was so specific on it being a real human brain, but I find that really interesting.
I'm more impressed that one of the guys has a brain guy.
Yeah.
I was just like, yeah, I got a brain guy.
Yeah.
Some like old ex-Nazi weird experiment doctor. Fucking doctor from Team Fortress 2, the medic. People's heads off.
That's fucking nuts. Okay, that's cool. I like that.
Yeah.
There's also that like weird spiritual moment where Laura Dern's character talks about, like, poetically about the robins coming home or whatever, and then at the end there's an actual robin that shows up, and
it just reminded me of that white girl shit whenever someone passes away and they're like, you see that blue jay over there? That's Peepaw.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Every time the sun rises, that's old Mima. But in this movie there's just this weird spiritual like thing. I don't know.
It is good vanquishing evil.
Yep, I was just about to say that. It's good versus evil and like incarnate. You watch him eat the fucking beetle at the end.
Yeah.
And it's
cool.
violent, but it's also nature. And it is the order of things.
Yeah.
It's beautiful yet primitive. Intertwined.
It's just funny, like, all the shit Jeffrey's been through in a week, and he blows this guy's brains out, and now he's just back to chilling with this nice suburban little family and stuff.
How do you want your steak, Ma?
Yeah, like, it's like, okay.
Well done, you white broad.
Because I'm in
with ketchup, like Trump.
I guess college life for him was that fucking miserable and boring that he had to seek out fucking adventure. I don't know.
Reach out and touch faith.
Because that is nuts.
I give this 3 out of 5 Frank Booth's Baby Fucker.
This is a great film and a great, like, obviously, Eraserhead and Elephant Man are great films too, but this is really where that suburban kind of weird dreamlike thing really sticks.
This feels like
forms.
if you want one film that is a good entry point into Lynch to understand his oeuvre as a whole,
Yes.
this is a good one to start with. Eraserhead, I mean, you can start with like Eraserhead. That's not bad at all, I don't think. But this has the more connections with his other work and his broader aesthetic.
Yeah.
Eraserhead stands alone more from what I've seen.
The
Now,
cheat stands alone.
And then if you want to see more of Laura Dern and his work, you can watch Wild at Heart, which is an insane fucking action comedy with Nicolas Cage and Willem Dafoe. Oh shit. And then and she's also in his most experimental film, what's it called? 2006.
Jurassic Park.
No. Oh shit.
Inland Empire.
Yeah, Inland Empire. Hold on just a second. My
He turned. Yeah, I'm pretty sure he put his camera up because he's not wearing pants right now.
No, I just forgot to you can continue to talk. But
No, we gotta make it awkward.
I just forgot to plug in my fucking computer because I'm a moron. Even though we're at the end of this still. Anyway, yeah, Laura Dern's great in Inland Empire. She just completely goes for it. Even though that is one of the most like hard to interpret films. I think it's great though. He shoots it all on standard definition, like handy cams and shit. It's really weird.
I wonder if he'll make a full feature again.
There was rumors that he was doing a project called Unrecorded Night for Netflix, but and reportedly Netflix dropped it. So
Well, it's like
77.
The last thing I remember watching of his.
Yeah, but how old is Francis Ford Coppola? Coppola's making a $120 million fucking jerk off feature.
We'll see if that comes out ever.
Yo, what do you mean? It's almost done filming.
They'll cancel it, dude.
No, they will not.
It's self-produced.
Yeah, it's self-produced.
Oh,
all that fucking wine money.
All that wine money, bro.
That is the problem, is that Lynch's movies don't make much money outside of film circles, so it's hard for him to get funding. I thank God for nostalgia, because he was able to make Twin Peaks: The Return and take that that legacy kind of returning to an old franchise and turn it on his head and do the exact anti everything in relation to that. So I guess that's how he got the money from Showtime, is like, oh, we can cash in on people who grew up in the 90s with nostalgia. Because Twin Peaks was a phenomenon for 2 years on TV. So he got that.
Yeah, it's about time I start fucking watching that.
Yeah, I would like to do episodes. Like, I'd like to do an episode on season 1, and a Harbor episode season 2, and then Firewalk with Me and the movie, and season 3. So I think it'd be cool if we could do that like every couple months, like do a different season.
I'm down to shoot that load.
Yeah. And then so yeah, more David Lynch to come, because he speaks to me on ways most filmmakers do not. Cannot be helped. It's just how it is. If you would like to participate in our show, you have a very specific movie that most people on the internet have not covered, or it's just something that you feel like you would like to get off your chest, you can come on the show. I like to make this a mostly open forum. If you're a rational human being, just message me. You can find me wherever.
If you're King Cobra, please come.
Yeah, please come on the show, King Cobra. Who else?
Well, I'm a big fan. Big fan.
It would be funny though if I could get Parker's little hero, Hassan Piker, if I could get him on here and talk something about, not about socialism, but about a movie, and then not tell her and then release it. Imagine, that'd be nice.
I don't think he'd like us.
No, I don't think so either. I don't think I'd like him. So fuck him. Fuck Hassan Piker. I'm just kidding. Come on our show just so I can gloat to my girlfriend who's obsessed with them. Anyway,
Do it all for the nookie.
I have nothing to add.
yeah, fair enough. Next week on the Harbor, Funeral Parade of Roses. Look forward to that one. That's going to be a really weird episode. Anyway, thanks for watching, everybody.
Goodbye. Have a wonderful